What's poppin', y'all? There's been a lot of mudslinging going on, and Roddy Ricch just so happened to get caught in the middle of it. It's like he was just walking down the street in some city that's dangerous, and then two people beefing, and then he just gets hit with a straight bullet. Because for some reason, the targets never actually get hit. It's just innocent bystanders. Oh well. And the accusations were that Roddy Ricch, as a ghostwriter, and had person writing songs and hits for him, etc. And this all started off, how I first saw it start was with this page on Twitter that's running Drake propaganda. I really running some hard Drake propaganda. And they were putting out that Kendrick Lamar's song N95 was a reference track, and he's got ghostwriters too to kind of level the playing field. That, I think, ended up getting debunked, but this same guy was saying that he wrote for Roddy Ricch. And when I first put this out, Quentin Miller responded in a comment to my Instagram post, which you should follow me on IG at helloyassine. That's where everything's happening. And he said, nobody expects personal conversations to be put out in public. I said all this in the rant that I was referring to, by the way. But this was also around that time. I'm not even in that space anymore, out of control. And he's talking about this is years ago. So Quentin Miller has to come out and say, hey, I'm not stamping this. I'm not behind this. I'm not with this. This is so long ago. I can't control someone putting out private conversations, and I never thought that would happen. So that's just the first instance of this guy, CJ or whatever, dragging someone in to not even his problem, but his attempt at clout chasing, which is crazy. Oh no, actually, now that I look at it, it was the same day, but he didn't know if it was real or not. Yeah, so what I'm gathering, because I'm looking at the DMs again, it looks like Quentin Miller responded to the guy, and he's like, damn, this is crazy. And then now I think he's realizing, yeah, yo, this guy's actually just capping, which is insane, because Roddy Ricch addressed him, which, respect to Roddy Ricch, man. And, well, Academics was on the phone with Roddy Ricch, and Academics put out this statement. And he said, spoke with Roddy Ricch. According to him, CJ Francis a complete fraud. Roddy was open to collaborate with others for his Feed the Streets 3 about 2 years ago project. And basically, this dude he never met, and no songs ever got put out that said he collabed on it. The voice note that got released was Roddy checking him 2 years ago for claiming he was writing for Roddy Ricch. And this is the post. Because there was a voice note, and there was also a conversation where he said, yo, I just got off the phone with Academics for like 40 minutes or something like that. So I'm going to play you guys that little clip.
Okay, so how do you want to do that?
I feel like you need to figure that out, bro, because this is something that you brought on yourself. I didn't ask you.
That's upset, so
I didn't ask you to bring me into your scandal, your conversation, bro. You brought me up. So I feel like you need to apologize or make this clear that you never wrote for me, bro. None of my songs was ever written by you. We did work together, but nothing ever came into fruition of that.
That's the only thing I posted, though, Roddy.
Bro, listen to what I'm telling you.
The only thing I posted, I ain't go out there and say, yo, everything that nigga did, I did.
Bro, are you listening to what I'm saying, bro? People are taking it and making their own narrative. But guess where it came from? You planted that seed, bro. You planted that seed. I didn't wake up and bring your name up, nigga. I didn't. You did this.
This is the problem with people like this. And Roddy Ricch, man, shout out to this guy, because Roddy Ricch has gotten a lot of criticism. Would we call it hate? Good question. I would say maybe a little bit of hate, but Roddy Ricch hasn't been on the favored side of hip hop like he was when he first came in and he was heralded as this like amazing artist, which he dropped some good songs. And it hasn't been like that for years. So he's already not looked at too favorably, and he's been just in the cut. He dropped a project, I think, last year, maybe a year and a half ago, almost two. That mixtape, Feed the Streets 3, I think it was. So now he gets dragged into this, and respect to Roddy for the way that he approached this, because number one, he exercised, the guy was getting played with on the phone, and Roddy Ricch didn't like go off on him or go crazy on him. And I think it's because Roddy Ricch recognized, hey, this guy's already putting out fake information. He's probably recording our conversation, and he's gonna try to make me seem really bad if I attack him aggressively. He's like, see, I try to expose these people and this is how they come at me. But Roddy Ricch is talking to him like, yo, why are you making it seem like you wrote for me when you did it? You're false advertising. And the guy's like, well, nah, I never said that. See, now there is a lot of time on the internet. What happens is you say something and people will attribute you saying something else because of the assumptions that they made. That's one case. And this happens very, very frequently. And then you're like, yo, I didn't even say that. And they're like, nah, but you implied it. And you're like, no, I didn't even imply it either. However, there are also unique cases when someone purposely omits certain pieces of information or doesn't put out the whole thing because they know that people will interpret it in a certain way. And they weaponize that. And that's exactly what this guy did with Roddy Ricch. He knew, because the whole center piece of this is, this guy's like, hey, I'm ghostwriting and I'm putting out reference tracks for your favorite artists, like Kendrick Lamar, Roddy Ricch, these hits that you guys know. So for that, if he puts out Roddy Ricch, he's not going to say, oh, by the way, I didn't write for this guy. No, he's going to leave it, quote unquote, up in the air. But you're going to think that because the only reason you even know who he is because he said he ghost wrote for Kendrick Lamar. So Roddy's looking at it like, yo, you know what you did. He's like, oh, so how do you want to handle this? What do you mean how you want to handle this? Tell people you didn't write for me, you capped, and that was that. And it's not even Roddy's responsibility. I'm like tweaking out on my words. It's not even Roddy's responsibility to tell you how to handle a situation that you started. But my favorite part of all of this, which you Drake fans, you Drake stans actually, because I enjoy Drake's music, and I said this track was hard, and I will not cap. You Drake stans that say, man, you know, nobody care about ghostwriting. Nobody care about reference checks. Oh, nobody cares that he took an entire Yachty song, bar for bar, word for word. Drake, Soulja Boy was really ahead of his time. Nobody cares about that. Nah, we do care about that. Rappers, people that like the art form of rapping. Now, if you're just a music guy, just go stand with like all the chicks that don't even care about this like rap credibility and stuff. They're just like, hey, this is a fire song. Go stay over there with them. The conversation we're having is about rapping. And Roddy Ricch took great pride. He's like, yo, I got pride in my pen. Nobody ever wrote for me. I've sold 50 million records, and that was me writing all those songs. Nobody's ever written for me. And I like that. Taking pride in your work, even though Roddy Ricch has dropped some whack songs. But that brings the conversation, yo, so if Roddy wrote everything, it makes sense why, was it Live Life Fast? He was living so good, he didn't really have much else to write about. So I feel like this is what keeps Ye in his bag. Granted, Ye does use writers, yes. And this is why we don't call Ye the greatest rapper. We call him the greatest rap artist. Make an important distinction there. I think this is why Ye keeps his life tumultuous, because if it's just too comfortable, he's not really going to have much to do. And that's also why I think Schoolboy Q takes so much breaks in between music. It's like, yo, what is Schoolboy Q going to talk about year after year? Just dropping an album a year. The guy's like raising his daughter. He's living in the Valley in LA. He's kind of like chilled. So it takes him more time to accumulate experience and then give you an actual project that is going to be novel in some way. And what Roddy Ricch did deliver was novel in terms of Live Life Fast, but the subject matter just wasn't relatable to what he was initially doing. And this is what happens when someone, a lot of the time, when someone is actually writing their stuff. So this just warmed my heart to hear this, that somebody still has pride in what they write. And this just goes to show you. This is how every single rapper that writes all their stuff, every single star that writes all their stuff, this is how they feel about Drake. And this is how they feel about anybody that has ghostwriters. I'm not just leaving this at Drake. Anybody that has ghostwriters that isn't writing all their music. Because it's like, yo, let me not get into that. I'll probably save that for another one. But yeah, shout out to Roddy Ricch, man. Looking forward to hearing more from him. He not only did he handle this with experts class, disarming the guy, making him look like a goofball, because anyone that hears this audio, they're gonna be like, yo, this guy's a clown. However, if Roddy got aggressive and started like coming at him angry, he'd be like, man, like, I think they would still understand what was going on, but it wouldn't look as good for Roddy, and it wouldn't look as bad as it does right now for this CJ guy. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.